Shalom.
They burned his
Oops,
children.
Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting. Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'll to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children around the corner, around the world. Salakia, in Paleo Hebrew language. Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha-Rokah Kodash Mahamath, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors the apostles of GMS. Double honors to the apostles of Lion Den's camp. Salutation to the archons on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children. Shalom. Okay, being that things are getting pretty serious in Venezuela, and also being that the closest item that you don't hear too much being talked about, and the reason I keep bringing it up because at one time, I used to go visit, but then I got a chance to live in the island of Aruba. That island is the closest to Venezuela, right? And they see everything. All they got to do is go to Baby Beach. That's the beach they have in Aruba. And you can see Venezuela in a clear day, the countryside. But I'm pretty sure besides that Aruba can see all the Navy ships of America over there, And if war escalates, which it looks like it's going to, it's going to bring problems to not only Aruba, the island, but every island around, every Caribbean around it, okay? Now this video popped up. They call it a Black History Exposed. We know it better as Black Wall Street, right? Spirit movie to do a lesson because it's the same thing that they did in Black Wall Street. They did into Puerto Rico in 1898, right? When the Navy bombed the capital of San Juan, okay? And you can see that they're going to be doing the same thing to Venezuela if war starts, okay? So I'm going to play this. The title of this lesson, whoever touches the apple of his eyes. Okay, here we go.
Alive in front of him, not because he was poor, but because he owned more land than any white.
Slack, I'm going to play again because they burn his children alive.
They burned his children alive in front of him, not because he was poor, but because he owned more land than any white man in America. His banks held millions. His name was on 30 properties, but you'll never find him in history books. Because in 1921, being a wealthy black man wasn't just dangerous, it was a death sentence. And he wasn't alone. 4 other families, same fate, same silence. This is the story they never wanted you to hear. History has a way of forgetting what it needs to forget. You've been taught that black people were slaves, then sharecroppers, then servants struggling to survive. What you weren't taught is that between the 1500s and 1920s, black families built economic empires so powerful they terrified the people who claimed to be superior. From African kingdoms that controlled the resources Europe desperately needed, to American entrepreneurs who owned entire city blocks, these families didn't just survive the system. They beat it. They became richer than the people oppressing them. And that became their crime.
Slack, I can't help it, but you know that he keeps saying Africans. Our people are not Africans, okay? It's really the tribe of Judah, Levi, okay? The 12 tribes, okay? I just wanted to say that. Here we go.
Because when a people's wealth threatens the narrative of their inferiority, that wealth must be destroyed. Not just taken, erased. Libraries burned to ash. Property deeds stolen in the night. Entire families murdered in their beds. Names scraped off maps, as if they never existed. This wasn't random violence. This was systematic economic warfare designed to make sure future generations would never know what their ancestors built. Because wealthy black families proved one terrifying truth that white supremacy couldn't allow. The whole system was a lie. Let's start with the man from the beginning, the one whose children burned. The Stradford Dynasty. J.B. Stradford arrived in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1899 with $3 in his pocket and a law degree nobody would honor because of the color of his skin. So he did what he had to do. He worked, he saved, he built. By 1921, J.B. Stradford owned the 54-room Stradford Hotel, the largest black-owned building in the entire United States of America. But that was just the beginning. His family controlled rental properties across Tulsa's Greenwood district. They owned businesses. They held land worth $4 million. That's over $60 million in today's money. He employed dozens of people. His children attended the finest schools. His family lived in a mansion that made white Tulsans sick with envy every time they drove past it. The Greenwood district wasn't a neighborhood. It was a declaration. Over 600 black-owned businesses generated millions of dollars annually. Black doctors, black lawyers, black pilots, black oil barons. They called it Black Wall Street, and it was more prosperous than most white towns in Oklahoma. J.B. Stradford stood at the center of it all, a living contradiction to everything white supremacy claimed about black inferiority. And white Tulsa watched and seethed. Because how dare these people, these former slaves, these supposed inferiors, drive nicer cars, build taller buildings, and send their children to better schools? It was unbearable, intolerable. Something had to be done. On May 31st, 1921, something was. A white mob surrounded the Stradford Hotel. J.B. was inside with his family, his wife, his children, his grandchildren. They could hear the crowd outside growing larger, angrier, chanting for blood. Then came the gunshots, then the torches, then the screams.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. As you can see, that this is what the Edomites are all about, right? Raping, robbing, and plundering, and deliving our people. Now, the reason that the Spirit moved me to do a lesson on this is because I see that a lot of videos are popping up that the Edomites are coming out saying that with technology, now they're going to look into, with AI, that's what I'm talking about, that they're going to look into our business, that everything that we do in the email, text, videos, and what we talk about, right? And if they don't like what we're doing, they can use it against us. Nothing new, right? They want to keep putting, using fear tactic. And of course, we're very aware that they can deliver us at any time. But what they don't understand, they don't comprehend, because it's above their IQ, is that we fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that we're fed up of the abuses that you have, they have put on our people. You know, as much as we talk about what's going to happen to 2/3 of our people for not repenting, we still not happy, right? What they're going to do to them as well, okay? I want to go to Zechariah chapter 2, verse 5. I'll start there. For I said, Yahweh Shai, will be unto her, unto his people, a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. The same way that the wicked burn everything down, bomb everything down, well, that's going to come to them as well when Russia, China, and other countries unleash those missiles. Slakia, verse 6. Oh, come forth, and flee from the land of the north, said Yahushua, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, and said Yahushua. Verse 7, deliver thyself, O Israel, that dwells with the daughter of Babylon. Now, does that mean that we just pack up and leave? No, because as I keep going on with scripture, you're going to find out that it's not talking about that. It's really talking about everything starts in the heart, in the mind. Okay? The more you learn truth, the more clarity and the more your faith increases. Okay? And strength as well. Verse 8, for those said Yahushua of hosts of armies, after the glory has he sent me unto the nations which spoil you, for he that touches you touches the apple of his eyes. So the same way that the wicked recording, GPS mapping us all the time, spying on us at a massive level all the time. Well, Yahweh Shin Yahushua have been watching all of us and the wicked from the beginning of time. So they're not going to escape. Verse 9, for behold, I will spike my hand unto them, I will spank my hand unto them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Yahushua of hosts has sent me. Yeah. The whole world's going to know that there were prophets among, America and around the world. Verse 10, sing and rejoice, O daughter of Israel, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, said Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 12. Give me a minute. Chapter 12, verse 2. Behold, Yahweh is my salvation through his son Yahushua, right? I will trust and not be afraid. For Yahweh is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation. Verse 3, therefore with joy shall ye dwell water out of the well of salvation. Right? The Holy Spirit will speak in truth in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahushua. Verse 4, and in that day shall ye say, praise Yahweh Shai, call upon his name, declare his doing among the people, make mention that his name is exalted. Okay? Verse 5 in Slakia, sing unto Yahweh, for he has done excellent things. This is known in all the earth. Verse 6, cry out, shout, thy inhabitants of Israel, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. Yeah. All this wickedness, all this violence that you've been doing for so many years to our people is coming to an end. As I'm doing this lesson, even Edomites are against the people in power, the Edomites, their own kind. Song 17, give me a minute, verse 8. Keep me as the apple of thy eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wing. Right? Under the wings of those chariots, those so-called UFOs, okay? Verse 9, from the wicked that oppresses me, from my deadly enemy who compasses me about. Right? They always keep suppressing us. They want to keep us in slavery. They want to transfer us into cyborgs. Okay? I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. Give me a minute. 10. He found him in the desert land and in the waste hollowing wilderness. And we in the wilderness. He lead him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. And at that time was Moses. Okay? Well, right now, at this time in our era, is the so-called Negros, Latino Americans, and speckled birds who have been called to do the work in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We're in the wilderness. Okay, this is not our kingdom, it is our hell. You see? So when we tell our people, so-called Negros, Latino Americans, speckled birds, to repent, right? It's because this is not our place. Okay? And things are getting closer, and things are moving faster for them to bring in the digital system. You know, when I keep saying the digital system, what popped up in my head today was what they really want to have control, that they want to study more using AI, is energy. You see, they want to control energy because they believe that that's where ultimate power will be to fight Yahweh Shai, and they believe, the Edomites believe that they can, kill him. But they can't, because he's not coming as a man, okay? He's coming with superpowers beyond what they can ever imagine. And he controls the energy, the element of all things. I want to go to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. Keep my commandments and live, and my laws as the apple of thy eyes. Now, when you hear here, when I read the law, it is impossible to do the 613 laws in this wicked kingdom. We can only do some of them to the best of our ability. And living in this weak human flesh, it's impossible. You know, we all fall short. We all have sinned and fall short of the glory. That's the kind we need Yahweh Shai. I want to go now to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 4. He taught me also and said unto me, let thy heart, Slakia, thy mind, retain my words, keep my commandments and live. And that's what they don't want us to be doing. They don't want us to be doing the Sabbath or the Passover. This wicked kingdom wants to control everything that we do, see, think, and say. You see? They want to cross that line of no return. They want to commit the biggest treason of all treasons that they have been committing. You know, this is going to be the toppest, highest one, and the last one they're going to commit. But it's not going to be fulfilled. Yahuwah, I want to go to chapter 24, verse 14. Now therefore fear Yahweh Shai, right? Fear Yahweh, okay? Because he's the Father and he gave all authority and power to the Son. And serve him in sincerity and in truth. And put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt. And serve ye Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 15. This goes out to our people, the so-called Negros, Latino Americans, and speckled birds. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And this is the big test that Yahweh Shai is giving to all his people around the world. You know, soon they're going to be bringing in the global cashless society, invisible money, which is going to be really on a Trojan horse. It's not going to work because they're going to make sure it doesn't work, because they're going to use AI to hack the hell out of it. so then they can mandate the charagma, the seed, right? The mark that they want to put inside of everyone. So then that way they can turn you into cyborgs. So you can fight Yahweh Shai and the host of angels, right? Our King, King of Kings, Lord of Lord, and the angels are brothers, okay? While the Edomites, with their family and friends, they go high under the ground, thinking and believing that they're going to escape. They're going to be the first one going into slavery. That's what's going to happen. Psalm 34. Start with verse 7. The angels of Yahweh Shai encamp round about them that fear him, and delivers them. Verse 18. Yahweh Shai is near unto them that are of a broken heart, and saves such as be of a contrary spirit. Verse 22. Yahushua redeems the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. See, you have to have faith no matter what these wicked are going to do, no matter what they are doing now and are going to do, because they're going to escalate it. It's going to get worse. Okay? You have to hold on to the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay? No matter how much pain, how much hunger, no matter if they say they will delive you, okay? That is nothing to compare the glory that we're going to receive when Yahweh Shai comes back with the host of angels and bring us back to life. So I'll leave it with Psalm 46. Give me a minute. 46. Verse 5. Yahweh is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. Yahweh shall help her, and that right early. In other words, when you least expect it, when all hell breaks loose, just like you see here. This reminds me in Miami, in Liberty City, when all the buildings were burning. Also, in New York, when the lights went out, So I deal with verse 6. The heathens raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. And that's what's coming to this wicked place for all the wicked that is doing around the world, around the earth. What it's doing to our people, to our children, to our daughters, to our ex-wives, to our families, to our friends, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds. So the Spirit moved me to do one more verse, which is verse 9. He make war to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cutteth the spears in sunder. He burns the chariots in the fire. So all the technology, all the drones or high advanced technology that these wicked have invented, that was given to them by Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, ain't going to do anything to Yahweh Shai or to the host of angels when they come back. It's going to take them only 1 hour to stop all this madness. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.